Peace and love, family. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Flowing with Fluid. I'm Miss Fluid, and today we're going to be talking all about budgeting, right? The basics of budgeting, how to stay organized while you're budgeting to make sure that you're staying on task, and also how to make sure people aren't stealing your money. It's way too easy for people to steal money out of our bank accounts, and if we're not being careful, we could miss it. So, let's get started. I have this budgeting notebook that really helps me a lot, and I'm going to go through some of the pages to show you the most important things. You don't need to buy a notebook. We're talking about budgeting here, so you don't need to buy anything new. You can use a program online. However, I like to write things down, and I like when things are structured for me. When budgeting, you want to look at the past 3 months of bank account statements in order to get a ballpark or range of how much you need to budget for bills and things each month. It'll really give you an idea of what you've been spending your money on and ways that you can adjust. So when budgeting, you want to think about expenses that you have coming up that may be out of the ordinary, and like trips, vacations, stuff like that. Things that you want to budget for and that you're trying to find money for. And when you're going through your income minus your expenses, that lets you know how much money you have left to save for emergency savings, for generational wealth, for vacations. That'll tell you how much you have left over. Or maybe you need an additional stream of income to really make it where you want to go. There are so many tips for how to budget. I love the Budgetnista. She was one of the first people who really helped me learn how to budget. And I make my noodle budget where, when I don't have that much income, these are the main things that I have to pay for and the minimum that I'm allowing myself to save. And this is what I have left over. And then when I'm not on that noodle budget, when my funds are not so tight, okay, now I can splurge. I can buy this, I can buy that, I can buy extra skincare if I want to. If I can go on another vacation if I want to. So, especially as an entrepreneur, and especially as somebody who income varies month to month, it's very important for me to take account of how much I'm actually making and to look at my accounts, look at where I'm at. One tip that I would love to give is to make sure that you're paying yourself first. So for me, I save at least 10% of all of the money that I make. And I really strive to save 20% and invest 10. However, like we just talked about the noodle budget, that's not always in the budget for me to be able to invest that much. But at the bare minimum, I have to save 10% of all of my income. And that helps me make sure that I have extra money in case I'm short one month. It also helps make sure that I'm building generational wealth. And it makes me feel good to give myself money before I pay any bills. And it's really a mindset thing. When you pay yourself first, it feels like you really get money. Like I don't have to give my money to everybody. Like I'm making sure I pay myself first. And really being strict on not using your savings. Like you're going to have to stay home sometimes. Like it's okay. What I've been doing is really finding ways to make sure that I'm still taking care of myself, doing self-care, finding ways that I can do that for cheap or for free at the house. Looking at my herbs, looking at what I have. The other day I gave myself a oatmeal foot bath because I wanted some self-care and I didn't have the funds to take a lift to go to get my nails done. The lift and the nails, that would have been probably around $80. Not that I don't have $80. I just don't want to spend it on my nails. Some people, that's one of the things that's definitely in their actual budget for every month because they feel like they have to get their nails done. I have to get a massage. That's what I care about. I have to get a massage at least once a month. And so that's my self-care that I know I'm spending on. And I like to take myself out to eat at least once a week. So those are things that I budget for, because when we're budgeting, we want to make sure that we're enjoying the money that we're making, especially if you work a job. If you're working a job, you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that you can have the stamina to continue working. I don't know how y'all have the stamina to work 40 hours a week. That's crazy to me. But I know a lot of people do that, and that's in a lot of people's lifestyles. And when you're doing that, just make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You deserve rest, you deserve love, you deserve self-care. It doesn't matter how much your bills are, you can figure it out, okay? You deserve the best, and you can give yourself the best. You can take care of yourself for free. I'm actually working on a self-care tape. This is completely unrelated, but I feel like that's really all you need to know about budgeting. Check your accounts at least once a month. If not weekly, at least check once a month. I don't think we talk about this enough, because there's been a countless amount of times where I have found charges that I did not charge. And I had to call my bank, let them know, like, hey, this charge is not for me. I don't know where this came from. That's what you need to do, because people will literally be stealing your money and you won't know unless you are actually checking. Right? We can't just trust that the bank is going to take care of that for us, because like I said, people can be stealing your money. There's so many scams out here where you'll look at the line where it's telling you where that charge came from. You like, I have no clue what that is. It's probably a scam. I don't know how they get your bank account information, but they know what they're doing, right? So making sure that you look over what you're spending every single month, if you cannot do it weekly. Weekly, I think, just makes it less intimidating and maybe harder for you to do it once a month, just because it's intimidating to do the whole month, looking through all of your bank accounts. That's another tip. Have one bank account for spending. So I have my bank account where my money comes into. I save that money. I save my 10% in that account, and then I send the rest to my spending account. And then I save another 10% for my spending accounts, and the rest of that goes to bills and whatever else I need to do. So that makes sure that I'm always saving 10%, and that first 10% does not get spent. But then also I'm saving an additional 10% in case I do need to take some money out, in case I mess up with my budget that month. I do have that extra overflow of savings, although my goal is to never touch any of my savings. I still do have that overflow just in case. And I like to take vacations, so that's also money that is like, okay, I really want to go on this vacation. How much of this money can I take out? How long would it take for me to pay myself back? So yes, having a spending account and then having just an income account where you can make sure that you are saving that money. That's about it for today's video. I want to keep it short and sweet. I hope that this was helpful for you. Everybody's budget looks different. And for me, being somebody whose income is very inconsistent, I really just made a way for me to figure out how my bills are always paid without me having to work. So finding a way for your bills to be paid regardless of how many hours you put in is clutch. You need that residual income. So where I am right now, all of my bills are paid. However, when I want to do additional things like travel and all those things, I do need to earn some additional income so that I can do those things. And this allows me to live free, because how much money do you really need just to spend every single month? And part of my bills is me paying to my life insurance. So everything that I'm doing is helping me build a solid foundation for my future. And double checking your accounts every single week or every single month, and going through every single month to see how much money did you actually spend? Did you actually stay on budget? And if you did very well, give yourself a treat. I'm all for giving yourself love, giving yourself treats, and congratulating yourself for when you do a good job. You deserve it, okay? And you can have the life that you want. There is a way. If there's a will, there's a way. You can make it happen. I promise you that. I never thought that I would be living this life that I'm living, and I still have a far way to go, but it's about the journey. And I'm so grateful for what I do have, and that my bills are paid, and that I've paved a way for myself. I live an unconventional life. Even though I grew up in the capitalistic United States of America, I found a way to detach myself from the rat race and to really stay true to what I feel is valuable. So, I'm not somebody who cares about designer with their polyester clothes. I don't care that it's designer if it's polyester. If it's not cotton, or something real, why would I care about who made it? But that's just me. Everybody's different. So when people try to tell you how to budget, it really boils down to you and what you want in your life. But you can do it. I believe in you. And I love you, and I thank you for tuning in. Peace.